summer holidays, I can understand, but when the holidays are done, please bring your students. All of you from different colleges or AU or where you are from?
Different colleges.
Okay. Please let your friends know there is a lot to learn here. The more you engage, the more you get.
Yes, sir.
Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to introduce yourself. Brief introductions, your name and affiliation. That's all we need to know. Just so everybody knows who is here. How many of you are new here?
Yeah, we're all.
Several of you are new. So let's go around with the mic. You can sit. You can sit. You don't have to stand. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Ramakrishnan. I'm a student of College of Commerce, Andhra University. I'm into energy sector. I'm doing my stock of business. And certainly I need help from them today. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Often it is ladies first, but this time it is the seniors first.
Good to have you here. Your name and affiliation, please.
Hello everyone. My name is Sumlata. I'm working for Dress For Me app design. So I want to share this topic.
We talk about.
No, we will have an idea pitch at the end. Idea pitch and open mic session at the end. If you want to share something about your particular app or business, you can come back there. Now it's just introductions and your name and your affiliation.
My name is Sumlata. I'm a 3D modeling artist.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so good evening. I am Deepak Bair. I am from Geetham University. I am working on a medical device startup related to heart attacks.
Good evening everyone, my name is Ganesh. I'm working for the Indian Navy. I'm just here out of curiosity and my friend brought me here. I'm excited about the startups. Thank you.
Good evening everyone, my name is Vamsi. I am a software developer working since 2 years. I'm just following startup strategies since 3-4 months. So I just came here first time.
Hello, I'm Gopi. Some of you know me. Yeah. Into sports medicine, sports management, and social enterprising, city plans based things. As some of the earlier said, very curious and enthusiastic about the startup as an ecosystem and appreciating the works, and also looking at how things are evolving, what's happening, not happening, and what perhaps can be added. So 1 + 1 more than 10. That's the formula that I work on. So happy to be here to listen to the interest and the curiosity. Thank you all.
Hello everyone, I am Abhishek. I'm an engineering manager at Incubators.
I am Sneha. I'm a freelancer.
Hello all, I'm Aviram. I'm a graphic designer and coding enthusiast. Thank you so much.
Good evening everyone. My name is Santosh. I am doing a startup in app called Room.
Hi, good evening. My name is Vikas. I am from Crochet Technologies. We are into building GenAI solutions with that tech.
Good evening everyone. Myself Swarup. I am from Crochet Technologies. We are working on an education system which is completely based on GenAI technologies. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Ramvecha Putti. I am studying Doctor of Pharmacy in AU College of Pharmaceutical Sciences. At present, I am doing internship of PharmD, so in King George Hospital. So I'm curious about these startups and all, and my friend brought me here to just visit it. So I came here. Thank you so much.
Very good evening. I am Manteja. I am working in an working on fitness equipment industry, where we provide fitness equipment services, and also we are into fitness equipment sales.
Good evening. My name is Narvin. I am a filmmaker. My friend brought me here for this presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Raj Patel. I'm an interior designer. I'm a student of commerce from Andhra University. Studied in Gayatri College and did my master's abroad. I own a startup. I'm running a startup in Ahab. It's on solving problems related to home interiors industry. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Divya Dhanush. I'm studying BBA Business Administration in Alliance College. I want to know more about startup strategies. That's why I'm coming.
Good evening everyone. This is Jagdish. I came here to learn something and I'm student of digital marketing. Thank you.
Good evening, sirs. My name myself Harish. I started with so many ideas and business thoughts. So seniors are there. Something learning our thoughts is very fluent ga English రాదు.
ఇంగ్లీష్ మాట్లాడక్కర్లేదు, తెలుగులో మాట్లాడచ్చు.
సో ఈ సీనియర్స్ ద్వారా నేను ఏమైనా చిన్న స్టార్టప్ నుంచి పైకి అనుకుంటున్నాను. మీ యొక్క రివిజన్ ద్వారా మనం పైకి చూపిస్తున్నాను.
Good evening everyone, I am Teja from Alliance College. I am learning about digital marketing.
Good evening, I am Thiru. I am from DSC Technologies.
Namaskaram everyone. My name is Sirish. I provide IT support to coffee organization.
Hi everyone, I am Rajshekhar. I am into corporate. I am basically into research. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kiran. I'm a corporate advocate by profession. I'm just an enthusiast.
Yes. Hi. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Giri. I'm a professor of practice in marine engineering department. Yeah.
Good evening everyone. My name is Gautam and I'm working for a e-commerce website development.
Good evening everyone. My name is Prashant. I completed from BTech.
మిగతా వాళ్ళకి తెలియాలి. Alok, one line about it. Alok is the one, any of you at any time regarding startups party సంబంధించి ఏదైనా మాట్లాడాలంటే he is the person.
Hi everyone, Alok here from Vizag Startups, local startup community. Thank you.
WhatsApp group లో చూసిన large number of groups and everything. The person behind all of that grouping is Mr. Alok. And గోవా కాదు, మనకి పూల చొక్కాలు, మన దివాకర్ కూడా, విశాఖపట్నం కూడా నథింగ్ లెస్ ఈక్వల్.
Thank you. A warm welcome to all the speakers, guests and attendees. Thank you all for joining us today. This forum's purpose, just to clarify, this forum's purpose is to establish and build an integrated ecosystem with a variety of supports for entrepreneurs. It is open to everyone and we hope you will take full advantage of it by participating and contributing. If you're wondering what can and does happen in these sessions, here is a brief outline. Pitching your startup. We have a slot for you to pitch your company, regardless of the stage you're at. It's always good to be practicing your pitch, repeatedly selling yourself and your company. It's never too early, never too late. Give it a shot anytime you get a chance. In appropriate occasions, of course. Idea pitches. Slots for ideas are also available. You have an idea, please go ahead and share it. We have a slot, we'll call you on it. We'll call you during that time and you can come and pitch. It can only get better if you present it. Technical talk. Each session has a different topic, bringing in experts, sharing their experience and expertise. Then open mic session. If someone feels inspired and wants to share an idea, that this is the place to share and get some feedback. Any thoughts are also welcome. Whatever you have on mind as far as startups are concerned, please share your thoughts. We put in the effort to organize these and we are having fun. The more you engage, the more you derive. So please tell your friends and bring them along. Here are a few basic rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode. I was a teacher back in the class when somebody let their phone ring, then we would all answer in group. So let's not do that now. Please put your phones on silent. Please refrain from entering or exiting the session while the speaker is delivering their presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes their session. Please refrain from cross-talk or side conversations. It is distracting. We run a tight program. Kindly note that a pitch is allotted a maximum time of 10 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes to present, and 3 to 4 minutes for Q&A session. We kindly ask all presenters to adhere to the allotted time to ensure a smooth flow of the event. If you're running over time, you'll see me starting to dance, so please stick to your time. We request the audience to reserve your questions for designated Q&A period. Of course, if the speaker is comfortable taking your questions in the middle of his session, it's okay, but please wait for the speaker's cue. Don't just start talking while the speaker is talking. So today we have one startup pitch and an informative session on funding from government sources. We will follow that up with idea pitches and open mic sessions. So let's go. Let's invite Mr. Who did you decide? You were discussing. Okay, let's skip ahead and go to the feature presentation. So before we invite Bhavana over, the segment sort of defines, this is the main feature presentation, and this segment sort of defines each session of the Startup Saturdays. Those of us organizing these sessions and many who attend regularly wonder how these are structured. Here is a mental map to think about them. Today's session is at the company level. There are 4 levels, as you can see. Today's session is at the company level. Bhavana is currently working at AHUB as incubation associate and contributes to the ecosystem's vibrancy in many ways. Most importantly, she is the person with the knowledge of funding sources and some funds too. So make friends with her. Let's hear from Bhavana today about some of the most prominent sources of funding from the government for startups.
Hi, good afternoon everybody. Very welcome to the Startup Saturday. Before we start, would really love for this session to be a little interactive where you can ask me questions, and if I ask questions, just hoping to get a response, right? So how many of you here have seen Shark Tank? Yeah. So let's say I'm an investor and I have 10 to 50 lakhs to give you, right? What is it that you will have to give me in return? Equity.
ROI.
ROI. Right. So that's true. A lot of the startups and entrepreneurs that I meet on a regular basis have this question that we are too early in our stage, we just have an idea what happens if we dilute our equity, and how much percentage will people take, right? And that is where something like a grant comes into picture, because when you avail a grant program, when you avail the financial aid from a government grant or a private grant, you do not have to dilute your equity. You don't have to give away any part of your company to them. And in return, they expect a little bit of reporting of what you're doing with your project, how is it progressing, but that is about it, right? So with that, let's start our session. My name is Bhavana. I've been working in the startup ecosystem space for the past 3 years now. A couple of things that I can help you with are mentioned there. So if you want to reach out to me for any of the following things, would love to help you. Moving ahead, what exactly is a grant program? Because I was told the audience today might not even know how a grant program looks like or what does it offer, right? So a grant is basically a non-refundable financial assistance that any startup or innovator can access, which you take the money. Let's say the government has like a 10, 15, 50 lakhs to give you. You use their money to build your initial idea or to grow or to build your multiple prototype, right? So, and you do not have to repay back this money to the government. Well, almost 80% of the grant programs are non-repayable, but then there are a couple of programs where you have to repay them once you start making profit. Once you go into market and you're selling your products, that is when you pay a royalty fee on till you repay the 10 lakh or 50 lakh grant. Again, it's a non-dilutive fund. You do not have to give any equity to them. So when we talk about these grant programs, they're often given to a startup, to an innovator, to an entrepreneur for a specific purpose. For example, you're working towards social impact, you're working towards the edtech sector, right? So there are different departments of the government which focus on their own priority, and they give money for those reasons itself. An application process is something that is very important in a grant program because it often becomes very lengthy. The process of the day you actually apply, the day you actually intend to apply, and once you put in your application and once the review finishes and they come back. So it is a long process, right? And it becomes crucial for you to be patient while you get that money. The selection criteria of a grant program is something that we're going to discuss today. The general criteria. Each program has its own criteria, but on an overview of all these programs, what exactly is the government looking for when they give you the money, right? And milestone and reporting are basically how the process of the grant works. For example, if I do an equity investment in you, I give you the money, I wait for 10 years for your business to grow, and I get back my share of profit, etc. But that is not how a grant program works. If they promise you to give you 10 lakh today, they're going to give you 1 lakh, they're going to give you 2 lakh, they're going to wait till you finish your multiple milestone, and then they're going to release more money as and when you keep progressing in the so yeah, moving ahead, let's just have a brief about what are the different grants available out there. So you can categorize them into government grants, foundational grants, and corporate grants, right? So government grants are something that there are different ministries out there: Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology, Startup India Seed Fund, right? And they have their own focus area. So what happens is all of these government grants, they look for innovations that are basically helping the public welfare, that are solving issues for the nation, right? When we look at foundational grants, these grants are basically by foundation and corporate. For example, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right? They focus on education, they focus on health, right? And that is where they want to they have these corpus of money which they only want to use for startups that are working in these sectors. When you look at the second foundation, they are even specific of the location that they want to give this grant program for. Like they only want to do health and wellness in US, right? And they only want to give startups that are working for family economic situations in India, in Africa, etc. So what happens with these foundation is they have their particular problem statement, they work for a cause, and they give money to startups who align to their cause, right? And the last one is the corporate funding, where again they have their own problem statements, they have their own research department. So a lot of these problem statements that they face on a regular basis cannot be solved in-house for these corporates. So that is when they allow an external innovator or a creator to come and they have whatever issues that they're facing or they want to advance in, they give this money, these folks do it, and eventually the corporate will either buy your company or take a share in it or probably make it as a product in their own company. So yeah, Google for Startup program and Tata Social Enterprise Challenge in India is something that's working very well. So moving on to the government grants, these are a certain list of departments that are out there. You all can take a picture. And so there are different kind of fundings available in all of these departments. And the fund amount vary from 5 lakh to 1 crore to 10 crores depending on the industry they are in. For example, something the DRDO as an organization, when you build a product in the space tech industry, nothing's gonna happen to you with 10 lakh. Like you're not even gonna build a subsystem in 10 lakhs. You need crores of money to build even a prototype in DRDO. So that is the reason why it varies the amount of funding that you get from different departments. These are certain websites that can help you find these government grants that is possible. So these websites are very user friendly. You can filter your industry, you can filter your domain, you can filter what exactly are you looking for, what kind of grant you want, and it will give you a list that you can apply for. If you have any questions how to frame your application, etc., those are certain things that I can help you. You can come meet me at our hub and I can help you with this. So yeah, picture is taken hopefully. Right. So these are certain general criteria, okay, which any grant program in India will look at. If you're an individual applying, you have to be an Indian citizen and you need to have either your passport or Aadhaar, etc. And you have to be above the age of 18 on the day you fill the application form. Okay. A startup definition again comes in the form of that you have to be a LLP, you have to be a private institution, you need to be registered with Startup India Initiative. The government grants usually will recognize you as a startup if you're not more than 5-7 years from the date of your incorporation, and a lot of them actually want you also to be 2-3 years only. If you cross the age of 2-3 years, they will not consider you for funding, right? Even if your idea is brilliant and out of the world, they will not consider you for funding. Another thing is your turnover should not be above a certain limit. For example, the grant that I work for at our hub, the limit is 25 lakhs. So if your annual turnover, even if you are a 1-year-old company, exceeds 25 lakhs, then you cannot avail the funding, right? And then there's certain bigger grants where the annual turnover, they're okay if it touches somewhere around 8 to 10 crore. So these are basic criteria. Do we have another point?
Yeah.
So when we apply for these grant programs, they expect you to have a high degree of innovation. Most of the government grants that you get, you cannot avail the grant program if you do not have something innovative in your product. For example, even when your scrutiny is done with respect to your idea, they do a research of the patent that you're filing for. Does it already exist in the market? If it does, they're not going to fund you. That is how unique an idea has to be to get funded by the government. And it needs to have a potential for commercialization. You as an entity, you as an entrepreneur should be able to employ people under you, should be able to grow. This is not a research grant where you just do the research, you write a thesis paper and you move ahead. Those are separate grants that are also available, but these grants are for you to build a business out of it, and that is why they look for the potential to commercialize. The second thing is the idea has to be under the industry or the sector the government is catering. For example, Department of Biotechnology will only give you the grant money if you are building for something in agri-tech, in healthcare, in life sciences, etc. So these are certain things. Proposal outcome must be capable of being completed within a time frame. A lot of these government grant programs are of 12 months, 18 months, and they expect you to come out with an output, whatever you've proposed, in the time frame only. You do not get a lot of time to keep building your product whenever, maybe 2 years or 3 years. That's not how the programs work. They have a deadline and you need to finish it within the deadline. IP should be with the innovator and startup. For example, let's say I'm building this watch, okay? So if I file for an IP, it should be in my name. Nobody else out there should have an IP related to this. If I do not have filed an IP, they will put it as a milestone in your grant program that at the end of the grant program, you need to have an IP with you. So they focus a lot on employment generation, on IP, right? On the next rounds of funding that you raise. These are 2-3 criteria that are very important for any government agency when they give you the grant program. Yeah. They also do a thorough research. For example, if I'm from a business background and I say I want to build a IoT device or a robot or something, and they'll be like, you don't even have the basic education when it comes to electronics or when it comes to mechanical, how are you going to do it, right? So a lot of times that happens that they propose a certain thing that they want to build, but their education does not match, and that can be a reason where you can't take it ahead. But then if you have people in your team who can be the CTO, who can be the marketing person for you, and you can show that they're capable of running it with you, that is when it becomes easier for you to get the grant program. Okay. These are again certain things that they usually prefer, women entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, or somebody who, if you already have the IP with you, right, a design IP of, let's say, a smart ring, you just have to take the money and make the product, so they'll easily give you the money because your idea is already validated that way. The last thing, that if you're a student or an employee, the government would require an NOC from your employer or from your university saying that this person will be allowed to work to a certain hour for the grant program. Moving ahead. So some grants also require to match the funding. For example, if I'm giving you 10 lakh rupees, you need to show some contribution from your side up to 5 lakh or 3 lakh or 4 lakh, that this is what I'm going to put from my pocket and I'm going to contribute. So that basically tells how invested you are in the entire project. Okay. So I'm going to take you to the process of how it works with the grant process. Right. So the first one is to finding the right grant program. Okay. Why it becomes very important to find the right grant program, I will tell you. There was this company that I earlier worked with, right? They were into making autonomous robots that used to run in warehouses, picking up things, dropping things, etc. They eventually wanted to do it for bigger warehouses, but there was this grant program of Department of Biotechnology, and they said that your product has no utility in the biotech space, right? Like, what will we do with a robot? Bio agree, they do not right now have the bigger warehouses. We want to focus on grassroots level problems, etc. So what they tried is, for a very long time they were thinking that, okay, let me just mold my idea, add a little agri component to it, add a little biotech component to it, and then maybe that way I can sell them the idea that my product can be used in a bio background. But that's not possible. Why do you want to pivot your entire idea just to get a grant from somewhere, right? Because eventually, if that is not where you want to go, there is no point in getting the grant in the first place. So there are a lot of specifications and rules and regulations that they put, that it has to fall in this criteria, it has to match the industry norms. But if you don't really want to go there, might as well not even apply for the grant program. Why do you want to waste that 12 months of your time just to build a prototype if it does not match what you want to do? So please make sure you read all the terms and conditions of the grant before you apply for them, so that you understand, does it really fit your future process. Second one is a drafting proposal, and this actually takes quite some time, and this is where I can probably help you, because it is a very extensive report, a 13-14 page long report, where you have to mention these certain criteria, you have to mention your problem statement, you have to mention how unique your product is, you need to give a competitive analysis that this is where I am, this is where I want to build, but there might be similar companies, but I am better than the other companies and product because of so and so reason. So you have to do that market research, you have to understand how big your industry is, what is the TAM, SAM, SOM. Now, Samsung is basically how bigger the market is, what portion of the market is available for you to connect, and how much can you actually service right now. So these are different things that any investor or anybody who is giving you the money would want to look at, that how big your market is, because that is where they see the potential for commercialization. Yeah, so those are certain things. You also have to mention the impact that your product can make out there, and that is how they judge you. Moving ahead, after you finish your proposal and after you submit, so these proposals are either accepted by incubators who have the grant program, or they're accepted by the government directly. So every grant has a different process, and everything is going to be mentioned in their website itself. So it'll be easier for you to just go through it, and then you submit your form. They call you for, they call you for one round of interview. They call you for another round of interview, and post that, sometimes they even come physically for this grant called BIG, which is a biotechnology grant. Once you submit your proposal, they're going to come down, visit you in person for like a day or so, see the equipment that you have, see what you're building, and then they're going to figure out if they actually want to give you the grant or not. So this is how extensive they go in certain grants with bigger amount. And post the evaluation and done, let's say you get the grant amount, is the approval and disbursement. As I was mentioning, that at one instance they will not release you the grant. They're not going to give you 50 lakhs all at once. They'll give it to you in multiple tranches, and you need to show a certain level of work that is being done, and then they're going to release the next amount of money for you. Moving ahead to a couple of advantages why you should apply for a grant program is it's a non-repayable funding. You don't have to give any money back unless they mention that you have to give some royalty. Relatively easy to maintain because there's not a lot that you have to do, because you don't have to give the money back. You don't have to update them every day what you're doing, what you're not doing. You get to make your own decisions how you want to take the product ahead with any vendor you want to make the product in whichever course of action you feel, right? And the only thing you have to do is on a monthly or a quarterly basis, the organization will ask you for a report of how far you've progressed, which is quite simple to maintain, right? The third one is the validation and visibility. So when you receive such grant program, when you receive funding from a government agency, it basically speaks volume of the kind of innovation or the product or the service that you're making, because it's not easy getting the grant program. You're getting money from a government agency talks a lot about in the fact that maybe you're in it to build the business, right? Your idea has been validated by a central agency. The fourth one is a networking opportunity. For example, if I have around 10 grant programs, one is from idea to POC, one is from POC to prototype, and then from prototype to go to market. If I know you and I give you the first grant, I might as well give you the next 3 grants as well. Right? So that becomes a good place when you are a part of the ecosystem. You get access to other grants and funding programs. Enable focus innovation. A lot of these grant programs end up investing where the private investors do not invest, right? You want to do research. For example, he was talking about a device for heart attack. Now an investor might not put into money unless he sees that this product is actually making some change, but the government is ready to fund his innovation, right? So that is where a government program helps you to build innovation. Even without you having a physical product, they're ready to give you the money. And the last one is the support services. For example, you become a part, you get a grant, you become a part of our hub. We give you mentorship, we give you the opportunity to connect to the network. We help you go to the market, any other legal services or accounting. We have our other startup founders that can help you. So once you become a part of the ecosystem, you keep getting a lot of benefit just in terms of mentorship, and the market access that you get to do your testing validation becomes very important. And while there are also advantages, there are a couple of limitations to the grant program that you get. The first one is a competitive application process, because as I was mentioning, it is quite lengthy. It takes time for you to actually start. 2 to 3 months easily is what you take to start the application and submit it. It requires a lot of research from your end. Limitation is the strict usage of the particular amount that you get. For example, you got something around 10 lakhs, okay? You can only use 2.5 lakhs in your R&D. You can only use 10% of it in travel. So it's not like you can't use the entire 10 lakhs to make a product. You need to do some part of traveling. You need to do some part for your patent. You need to do something that is outsourced. So these are certain things that you will have to take care of. Next is a detailed reporting requirement. A part of the application, it asks you a lot of questions, a lot of documentation. Degree of freedom again comes down because you can't use the money as and when you like. Limited funding amounts. So it is true that not all the ideas out there can be funded. For example, all the software related, IT related ideas right now do not have any grant program. Even if you want to build the next Facebook or Instagram, there is no grant program out there to give you that funding. So government is only promoting and putting money in science, technology, but something that has scope in the future, right? And they often end up wanting a physical product, something that they can see. So that is why limited funding, and the funding also does not go beyond 5 crores or something in a lot of cases. Limitation is potential for significant investment time in application. So again, as I told you, you give 2-3 months to an application, and it's not necessary you get the grant amount. You can be rejected, and that time just goes into vain, right? Instead, you could have done something else. So these are a couple of limitations, but then when I look at the bigger picture, I feel that the advantages that the grant gives you are way more than the limitations that it presents. Yeah, we can take questions. Okay, I also wanted to show you. So this is a granting agency called DST Nidhi, and they have a couple of funds under them, right? These are the funds that they have, and this is how an eligibility or criteria or what exactly are they looking for looks like. This is available on the internet, so all of you can go and look for it. Their application, yeah. This is another program called DIG. So here I'll show you, they've mentioned about royalty. So here they expect you to pay 5% of your net sales when you start making, right? When you're in profit, when you're in the market, that is when they expect you to pay them back. This is a 50 lakh grant program. So slowly you can give them back the grant money. But if your idea fails, it's okay. You not have to pay a single rupee back to them. Also, just wanted to run you through one of those startups that I had interacted with my previous company. So they are making a device which will help the visually impaired people to basically hear whatever is there on the book. So there's a book, there's a camera, the device reads everything and voices out whatever is written. And they have built it for many languages, etc. And yeah, so if this is how you have written, the device will read it and read it out loud for you. If you can't see, you can hear. They initially started like this. They got a 10 lakh grant program, right? And they made a prototype. They did the testing and validation for a couple of months. Post which, if you look at their journey, they did a pilot. Then they got their order. After that, they moved ahead, and they kept receiving a lot of money from different awards and grant program out there. A lot of scholarship is yeah. So they keep getting awards, scholarship, grant amount, and they keep raising grant money only till a certain extent, and kept on making their prototype the best out there is. And then very recently, they ended up going to Shark Tank, and they got investment for their idea, right? So for a very long period of time, they were just dependent on these grant programs, and it helped them because they had a tech product, it was innovative, it was working for social impact. All of these inclined to what the government is ready to give money for, and that is when they ended up getting the benefit of it. So if you're starting out there, you do not have the money, for a long time, the government money can help you if you align to what they're ready to pay for. So yeah, just wanted to give you this, but yeah, open to questions.
I have primarily two questions. The first one, do you help in the understanding about the competitors and also the Sam Tom's song? That's the first thing. And the second one, when we are applying for the grants, how do we ensure that our idea will not leak by someone on the grant who is going to assess that? The reason is, I went for funding in Norwegian Research Council for 1.5 crores in 2016. Of course, I came back to work for a startup company in 2016. The same idea is delivered to the same customer after 3 years, and now he is approaching in the LinkedIn, do you want my solution? So, of course, I did pitch a lot of things to even Statoil, Shell, BP, different companies, like their own startup ecosystems and all. After that, I got little more concerned about pitching an idea to these organizations. So how do we ensure that our idea will be protected?
So regarding the first question, when it comes to your market research and Samsung, I personally can tell you how the industry looks like, right? From whatever I can help you with the research, from the top sort of a research, right? And I can tell you how to put it on your pitch deck. But when you have to go deep inside and understand proper numbers, then I would direct you to an agency that can help you with the research part, because it is not something that we do on a daily basis. But to get an overview of how it looks like and how you can take an estimation of your business from the target market out there, that is something that I can help you with. And the second one is, correct, that's true. A lot of times it happens that you put your ideas forward and the incubator or the accelerator, they end up not being faithful towards you. So what you can do is, there is something called an NOC that you can get it signed by them, that at any point of time they don't have the leverage to talk about your idea or share any of your information. Because as an employee of an incubator, I also sign an NOC with my incubator that whatever ideas that I have with me, I will not tell it to anybody. When I leave the organization, then also I'm bound to keep the secret of the organization with the organization. So an NOC is what works in a lot of cases, sir. You will have to probably get that done from obviously your legal advisor. NDA, not NOC. Sorry.
From all the members that approach you in the AHUB or otherwise earlier, all through, if you put all the experience in one whole perspective table, what are would you be able to share the advantages that you've seen in most of the startups or groups, people, individuals that have reached you from this region, and the tutoring or the teaching that you had to do predominantly on given choice aspects 1, 2, 3 on the same group. So what are the biggest strengths you see among the people here? Energy, enthusiasm, curiosity kind of thing, or what is the biggest top of the mind themes that you feel that are common to the entire lot in this region? Awareness, exposure, whichever. So where you had to do a lot of work.
Are you talking about like Vizag or Andhra?
Visakhapatnam. In and around say 5 districts, this region, North Andhra. Yeah.
Okay. So in my experience with working with entrepreneurs in AHUB or via AHUB, I've seen that they come up with great ideas, right? But to an extent, they sometimes feel that, oh, can I really do this? Can I really do that? Like in my initial days, I worked with Vinil. He's the founder of Tara Mandal, and I was amazed. I was amazed to know that a student of Andhra University is envisioning to make a space tech product. Right? I never imagined that was possible. and he came with the idea, and he had his plan sorted, what he wanted to do, but all he wanted was support. Being a tech person, I've seen the tech background of how the technicalities of the product look like. They're very strong in that, but they need a lot of support in the business part. How do you make a pitch deck? The smallest thing, they feel like, how do I make this pitch deck? How do I make my valuation, right? How should I approach this investor? How do I approach that investor? So these are certain things where I've seen that somebody like Ahab can help you with the business part of it, with the financial part of it, connecting you to good mentors that can actually take you where your product has to be looking. So I think, yeah, strengths are people have great ideas here. There was a student who came up to me and he wanted to build an automatic washing machine, not in terms of the ones that are already there, but you want to put an IoT device where you can scan, put your load, it gives you information when you're done. So this used to happen before, right? We've seen it in movies in the US. A lot of washing machines are there, you put a coin, but all of those are not existing right now. They're gone. You either have your Dhobis doing it, or you have these new age startup or tumble dry, etc. who do it. But he wanted to install such machineries in hostels because he saw the problem in his campus. While he was studying, he realized that I'm not getting clean clothes on time, right? There are no washing machine because the university can't afford. So that is where he wanted to put a device where the university gets money because the students can and pay, and the student gets the washing machine because they need it. So people are realizing there are certain things that the city need and the city can pay for, and they're coming forward with these ideas. All they need is support, like the financial support from the government or the mentoring support, the business mentoring. And that's something that we're very happy to give. Thank you. Oh, there's one last question, I think.
Okay, one quick question.
But any other questions, I am available here after the session. Would love to connect anytime.
Madam, after getting the grant, is the price, is the granted money can be negotiable? I mean, human and losses can happen in the between of the R&D. So can we extend?
So most of these grant program they have a up to slab, up to 10 lakh, up to 50 lakh, up to 1 crore. So you apply for it with the intention that maybe they say we'll give you 7.5. You're like, no, I want 10. So before you sign on an agreement, the amount is mentioned that you will get 8 lakh only. So 8 lakhs is what you get. Something that you have to think about as an entrepreneur also is you can't live on the grant money. A grant money is not everything that you have to build your product. It is just to give you a start. You need to look at other sources that can help you to be funded, help you get more money, not just the grant program. So I always tell all the entrepreneurs I meet, do not depend on this money. This 50 lakh is not everything that you have to get out there. It's a lot of money. Use the money, build your product, move ahead. You'll get money from somewhere else. But keep moving ahead. Do not get stuck that, oh, I got 10 lakh, I'm going to sit on this for like a year or so and keep building. No, build fast and you will get other resources for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhavana. That's important information, a lot to take and a lot to understand. As you can see, there is funding for a lot of ideas and projects. It takes a bit of persistence and creativity to seek and obtain funding. Given the importance of funding for startups, we plan to introduce a segment to Startup Saturdays on funding. Let's see how we can incorporate that. Every Startup Saturday session, we plan to cover a bit of some grant program. We'll keep you posted on that. And grant funding from government agencies is just one piece of the larger picture. I won't mention names, but I can see some of you are investors here. So network with others. You might find sources locally. There are lots of ways to get funding. So there is a lot to understand here. Now let's move on to the next segment. We have an idea, we have a startup pitch from Mr. Raj Patel Interiors. So please come on up and present your.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Raj Patel. Today I take the privilege, the opportunity to present my startup pitch to you. The name of my product, the company, the app is House Insta. I am Raj Patel, as I just mentioned. I'm an investment banker turned national award winning photographer, turned interior designer, turned an author on a book on interior designing, and now I recognize myself that I'm a problem solver. So what is the problem that we are solving today? I'll just take you through it, bear with me. So there are three basic needs of any human being: roti, kapda, makan. Food, clothing, shelter. Food wise, technology, we are startups. We'll stick to technology. Food wise, we've got Swiggy, we've got Zomato, we've got Urban Eats, Uber Eats, etc. So that's one problem sorted. And then food, clothing wise, you have got all the apps: Amazon, Myntra, Meesho, local apps, national apps, international apps, Alibaba, AliExpress. Shelter, construction. That's where humanity as a whole is also not up to the mark with other sectors. Up to travel also, we have solved majority of problems: booking flight tickets online, taking a cab in the middle of the night to reach the airport, to doing space tourism. We have sorted out those problems, but we haven't sorted really the shelter problem, the construction industry. It's still plagued with lot of delays, lot of issues when it comes to getting a home done easily, smoothly. It is a very time consuming process, lot of issues in terms of clarity. So what's the market size? First of all, we are talking about, if it's a small problem, we have defined the problem, but is that problem a small problem or a big problem? In India, we're currently having 141 crores of public, the population of India, and we have got 30 crore homes as of 2021 during the COVID era. In the next 10 years, it's poised to grow to 34.5 up to 35 crores of homes, right? And at least 10% of them need complete renovation. These new homes definitely need full interiors, but the existing homes also need complete renovations every 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, depending on the usage. So these services are being given to us, provided to us by these blue collar workers. Blue collar workers means carpenters, painters, plumbers, electricians, and the professionals associated with those industries, such as myself, interior designers, architects, right? So approximately, as per World Economic Forum, there are 10 crore blue collar workers in India, skilled and semi-skilled, and there are approximately 4.5 lakh interior designers, architects, civil engineers, etc. Now what's the problem over here? I've just addressed it briefly, but the main, if I have to just put my finger on it, I would tell you, these are the problems. Despite having such a big country, vast resources, Indians are getting richer and we are getting the opportunity to afford anything. Affordability is there, but even though we are able to afford it, although we are able to afford it, are we able to actually get a stress-free, hassle-free experience to get our interiors done, complete interiors done? No. Usually it's a very stressful experience, full of struggle of reliability. Is the worker going to complete the work reliably, or is he going to spoil my material? Is my budget going to go above, way beyond what has been mentioned? Will he come on time every day? What if I pay him advance and doesn't come tomorrow? Every homeowner goes through all these problems. There is lack of transparency and inefficient search methods. How do we find good workers? Even we interior designers need good workers. We can dish out beautiful interior designs to you for your house. You'll say, okay, done. Here it is, take 10 lakhs. But who will do the work? Right? And communication issues. We tell them one thing and they do something else. Apart from that, how do we actually find them? We call people, we call our friends, relatives. These are the methods. Is that an efficient method for a smart country like India? No, right? So this is the solution. The solution is what we are working on, House Insta. This is just a brief screen for you to see how the prototype works. Basically, we are introducing a marketplace, a platform for us to connect with homeowners on one side and service providers from basic needs to complete end-to-end services on the other side. So it's a seamless platform, and the best part of it is it's real time. You want to book a cab, cab will come to your place to pick you up real time. You want to book food, order food, you'll get food real time. You want to book a service provider, you call a known person and say, sir, I'm working in Gajwaka, I'll come after 1 week. No, you get a service provider real time. How do you get the service provider real time? It will show you only those service providers who are available for doing work for you in and around your area in real time. So instant connections, verified profiles, and how do you know if that worker or that technician or the interior designer, anybody, if he is reliable or not? The market will tell us. If we have introduced a very comprehensive, in-depth rating and review system, not just normal rating, so you can take a very wise and informed decision whether that person can actually deliver what he's saying. Based on that, and apart from that, you know where exactly he's working, his previous works, what are the upcoming works that he's already engaged in. If he's not available for service for the next few days, everything else. And apart from that, if there are other options available in the market, how do we differentiate? This is an all-in-one platform which provides end-to-end services with a very simplified process. So the market, Indian market, what's the size of the market? It's 65 billion size of the size of the market is 65 billion, and the real estate industry is booming, the construction, because the population is increasing, Indians are earning. Based on that, it's becoming all the more difficult to find reliable service professionals, and not only for homeowners but for interior designers, architects, etc. So to get these problems sorted, apart from that, we have seen some other players in the market, but the penetration of them in the market is not even 1%, because we see in our real life scenarios, most of our neighbors, friends, relatives, family members who have bought new homes or got their interiors done, they would still apply and go ahead with traditional methods, and the traditional methods are simply not effective and not efficient. So at House Insta, we see that the market size, there is a massive growth in the construction industry, and the target audience for us is the urban new homeowners and existing homeowners. Also, apart from that, renters, property managers who are looking for reliable and skilled personnel, service providers, instant services. Competitive analysis, I just mentioned to you, there are other providers, there may be other providers, but they are really effectively not solving even my problems as an interior designer, as a homeowner, because even I'm going through, I'm also an Indian. So we're trying to build in simple words for you to understand. If there is urban, if there is Uber for cabs, if there is Amazon for products, for service providers, there isn't anyone. So we are trying to build that for all of us. You'll have multiple options and also latest trends in interior designing, so that you don't rely on the same old repeated models and repeated designs for your house. House is a dream for everybody, and your house has to be exclusive and has to stand out. So what's our business model? Our business model is, for a homeowner, the app, the product is free forever. We don't want to charge. We're not going to charge anything from the end customer. The service provider is going to charge the customer for whatever his service is. It can be a very minor service to a completely big villa, bungalow, whatever it may be. We are not concerned with that. We are going to connect him to the homeowner. He has to pay certain fees to us. real-time connection, real-time fees he has to pay. That's the revenue model. Apart from that, they can opt for premium listing, of course, and they can also advertise. And these are just phase 1. Then there are other phases also. Today we have discussed phase 1. All these we have applied for patent, and patent application is also in process. So we have done a little bit of market research. As an interior designer, I am facing this problem. We are in this industry as a family legacy for the past 50 years. 1974 is when we started in Visakhapatnam. So we are facing this problem real time every day. That's one part of it. We also have a whole bunch of other contractors who are connected with us, and we have also done in-depth market research with other homeowners, customers, service providers, and we see the gap and we want to plug the gap. That's our whole approach. And what are our tractions and milestones? As you have seen one of the slides previously, the app is currently under development, and maybe in the next couple of days the app's first prototype would be ready. Then apart from that, hundreds of service providers are already ready to get onboarded. How can we say that? Because we have done the market research, because being in the market, it's our daily bread and butter. And what's our expansion strategy? Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities initially. So what now? We are looking for strategic partners, investors, and early adopters to help us join in our journey, and even Bhavana ma'am to help us get some grants. And also apart from that, we are looking to hire students. Guys, some of you can have a look at this. We have internship opportunities, learning opportunities, and potential career paths as we take off. So that will be backend database management systems, UI, UX, website designers, and digital marketing. So last 1 or 2 minutes, any questions if you have before we wrap this up?
There's no need. My first question is, I'm sure you have heard of urban company right now. So it offers you the services regarding painting, carpeting and all. So if you're going ahead with the patent process, are you sure that you will get the patent for the idea which already exists in the market? And second question, if you're going ahead with it, then how different you're gonna make your app different from the urban company? I'm sure about the interior designing, there's no app currently in the market, but for these services, there's already an app. So I want to know how you're doing.
Very good question, sir. Thank you very much. So basically, in urban company, one of the app which comes closest to our problem-solving approach, the urban company, in that when you open urban company, you find you can book carpenter, and the carpenter can only provide services which are listed over there. He can't do end-to-end services for your house, for your villa, for your farmhouse, and that too only within the city vicinity. You may be sitting in Bangalore and you want somebody to go in Ichapuram or Boboli. An urban company may not be there in Boboli. That's first part. Second part is, in urban company there is this menu rate card, and they'll wear urban company t-shirt, and they are onboarded by urban company. They were carpenters before. Now also they are carpenters only. The same guy is a carpenter. Now he is working for urban company. He'll wear the urban company t-shirt, 450 rupees or 500 rupees or 200 rupees for that service. Each service is max to max 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Right? And your house interiors may take 2 to 3 months of work. And he's only providing 45, only repair or small installations, not complete end-to-end services. That's first part of it. India is such a big country, and their market penetration, which I just mentioned over there, is like 0.1%. So there is no, one word away, no democratization. There's no, it's not a marketplace. He is a service provider, and we are not a service provider. We are a marketplace. We are connecting the existing customers and existing service providers in one single platform to provide services instantly. Complete renovation also, urban company will not do. Removing the whole structure, doing civil changes, installing home automation, fabrication, removing tiles, installing new tiles, end to end. Builder is giving you bought a new flat in Beach Road. The builder gives you a brand new empty flat and you want to do a complete interiors, urban company will not be able to do that. So that's one part of it. That's one thing. And also, if you book a carpenter, your second question is about the patent and everything, right? So you book a carpenter from urban company, he'll send you that one guy. Fine. Here you get to see 4 to 5 people or 7 to 8 people, carpenters who are ready and available to provide you services now. You can click all of them and see their profiles. See their works previously, what their images, portfolios, whatever works they have done, uploaded the pictures and everything. You can see their ratings. Whosoever rate card, as in his charges, square feet charges, and his works, previous works you like, you onboard, you call them to give service to you. But in our company, he'll give you only one choice. This is the work, this is the amount, 45 minutes task, do it, pay it, go. So you're restricted over there. That's why even I can't use their services. You give me interior designing services, I'll give you the designs, but to execute, I can't use their carpenters. That's it. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Raj. That was a very good pitch. Those of you who haven't pitched yet, you should really consider pitching. It's never too late, never too early. If you have a startup and you're here, please try to pitch. Please contact me if you want to pitch your startup. Now let's move to idea. I don't think we have any idea pitches. There were two who were going to pitch here today, but both of them backed out. Anybody here that wants to pitch? We'll come to that. So there is no signed up idea pitches today, but we will have an open mic session. So open mic session is for those of you who have some ideas or something that they want to share. Even a company that is here without a prior, if you did not get on the calendar or to the schedule, you're here and you want to pitch, that's fine. So now the mic, the floor is open if anybody wants to go ahead. We have 2 minutes. While she's preparing, anybody else is ready?
Present డ్రెస్ ఫర్మ్ అని ఫ్యాషన్ టెక్నాలజీ మీద యాప్ మీద వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఈ యాప్ వచ్చేసి ఆల్రెడీ మీకు ఫ్యాషన్ టెక్నాలజీ అనేసరికి మింత్రా, అమెజాన్ ఇవన్నీ తెలుసు. బట్ నేను తయారు చేయబోయే అంటే డ్రెస్ ఫర్మ్ అనేది ఓన్లీ కస్టమైజేషన్ యాప్. మీకు కావాల్సిన అంటే ప్రతి కస్టమర్ తనకు కావాల్సిన డ్రెస్ టైప్, ప్రతి కస్టమర్ తనకు కావాల్సిన డ్రెస్ ఫ్యాబ్రిక్ నుంచి కలర్, టెక్స్చర్ అండ్ సైజెస్, టాప్, లెంత్స్ అండ్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అండ్ కస్టమర్ ఓన్గా డిజైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అండ్ ఈ యాప్లో షేప్స్ అండ్ కర్వ్స్ ఆప్షన్స్ ద్వారా ఈ పర్టికులర్ డిజైన్స్ని మీరు మీ అంటే పర్టికులర్ డిజైన్స్ని మీకు తగినట్లుగా డిజైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అండ్ ఈ యాప్ వచ్చేసి ఫస్ట్ జెండర్, ఏజ్ అండ్ సైజ్ సెలక్షన్స్ ద్వారా బాడీ స్ట్రక్చర్ అనేది ఒక ఇమేజ్ని వేస్తామన్నమాట. స్కిన్ కలర్ని కూడా ఇక్కడ చూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అంటే ప్రతి కలర్ అందరి స్కిన్ టోన్కి సరిపోదు కాబట్టి మనం సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకునే జెండర్, సైజ్, స్కిన్ కలర్ అండ్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ సైజెస్ని బట్టి ఒక డమ్మీ బాడీ స్ట్రక్చర్ అనేది రివీల్ అవుతుంది. సో ఈ స్ట్రక్చర్ని ఉపయోగించుకొని మనకు కావాల్సిన మనకి ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యాబ్రిక్ కావాలి. ఇఫ్ ఇన్ కేస్ నేను ఒక అమ్మాయిని కాబట్టి నాకు మోస్ట్లీ ప్రిఫర్ చేసేది ఒక టాప్ని. సో నా టాప్ని నేను ఎలా డిజైన్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నాను అనేది కంప్లీట్గా నా చాయిస్ మీద ఆధారపడి ఉంటుంది. ఇన్ కేస్ నాకు డిజైన్స్ నా టాప్స్ వచ్చేసి సింపుల్గా అండ్ తక్కువ అంటే నా డ్రెస్సెస్ అనేది సింపుల్గా ఉంటే చాలు, ఎలాంటి హెవీ వర్క్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఏమీ ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. సో నా డ్రెస్ అండ్ దాని తాలూకా లెంత్స్ అండ్ దాని స్లీవ్స్ కావచ్చు, ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అనమాట. ఒక టాప్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవడానికి ప్రతి ఒక్కటి నేనే డిజైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అలానే దీంట్లో ప్రతి కస్టమర్ తన డ్రెస్ని డిజైన్ చేసుకోవడంతో పాటు ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న డ్రెస్సెస్ని ఏవైనా ఇప్పుడు కొన్ని ట్యాంప్లెట్స్ అనేది ఈ యాప్లో కొన్ని ట్యాంప్లెట్స్ అనేది ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ఆ ట్యాంప్లెట్ని యూజ్ చేసుకొని మన డ్రెస్సెస్లో కావాల్సిన
థ్యాంక్ యూ. పర్లేదు, మరి మీరు నెక్స్ట్ టైం వచ్చినప్పుడు పిచ్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకున్నాను, పిచ్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ప్రాబ్లీ వచ్చారు కదా, నెక్స్ట్ టైం పిచ్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకుని స్లైడ్స్ అవుతారండి. This is only 2 minute segment kada. It's okay, you did a fine thing. Thank you for presenting. Next time pitch thank you. Yeah, please come in. You have 2 minutes.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. నా పేరు గౌతమ్. నేను వీక్రెస్ అనే కంపెనీ నుంచి వస్తున్నాను. నా సర్వీస్ అనేది ఏంటంటే వీక్రెస్ అనేది ప్రతి ఒక్క వెహికల్కి సర్వీస్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేసేదంట. దాని గురించి ఇప్పుడు వెహికల్ 2 వీలర్ ఉన్నది. ఇదే పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైంలో ఇక్కడ రిపేర్ కావచ్చు,
దగ్గరగా పెట్టుకోండి,
అవుటర్ స్టేషన్లో కావచ్చు, ఎక్కడైనా కావచ్చు. మేము ఏం చేస్తున్నాం అంటే వీక్రెస్ అనేది ఏంటంటే దగ్గరలో ఉన్న మెకానిక్ షాప్లన్నీ లింకప్ చేపిస్తున్నాం. 2 వీలర్ సర్వీసెస్ 3, 4, 5 ఎవ్రీ వెహికల్ సర్వీస్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. వేరే వెహికల్ సర్వీస్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో మేము ఇంకా ఎల్ఎల్బికి అన్ని అప్లై చేసుకొని అన్ని అంటే ఎవరైనా కొద్దిగా ఫండింగ్ కోసం దానికోసం మేము ప్రొవైడ్ చేసుకొని చూస్తున్నాం. నా టీం ఏంటంటే మేము నా ఫ్రెండ్ అక్కడ సూర్య అని ప్రణవ్ కూడా ఇంట్లో ఉన్నాం. దట్స్ ఇట్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Aviram. So basically, I want to tell you an idea like which is already there. So right now, we all know the power generation is doing a lot of carbon emissions, and everybody is trying to reduce the carbon emissions. All the companies' aim is to do that. So there are different solutions right now, like wind and solar energies. So coming to solar, it's being used in the daytime. Only 8 hours is being it can generate power. So the remaining time, it is not able to generate power, right? So what I've been studying recently about is the space solar, right? The solar is being used in space because in space, the sun is always there. The sun always shines in the space. It is generated in solar in the space, and it's transmitted wirelessly to the power stations here. So that is what basically I am trying to work on. So anybody can give me some suggestions or ideas if you have related to it. So that's most.
Thank you.
Hello. Something for all of us, perhaps maybe it's there on everybody's mind to varying extent, particularly organizing side. Some of the members may go to different programs, different events, different avenues. కాలర్ మైక్ కొన్ని చోట్ల ఉండొచ్చు, రావచ్చు, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్స్ ఉండకపోవచ్చు. సో మనం జనరల్గా మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు మైక్ లేకుండా మాట్లాడడం అలవాటు, రెగ్యులర్ అలవాటు, క్లోజ్ 2-3 పీపుల్. వేరే ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ లైక్ దిస్ హాల్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు, అంబియన్స్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఆడియన్స్ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో మనం మైక్ దగ్గర పెట్టుకొని మాట్లాడడం అనే ఒక హ్యాబిట్ ఉంటే అట్లీస్ట్ మనది చివరి బెంచ్, ఫస్ట్ బెంచ్ అందరికీ క్లియర్గా వినిపిస్తుంది. They may agree, disagree, they may like or not, but they will listen to what we are saying. Telugu and English అయినా మైక్ దగ్గర పెట్టుకొని మాట్లాడడం అనేది ప్రతిసారి అందరికీ రిపీటెడ్గా చెప్తూ ఉంటే ఒక ప్రాసెస్ అయిపోతుంది, పార్ట్ అండ్ పార్సెల్. మనందరం సింగర్స్ కాదు, ప్రొఫెషనల్గా అటువైపు దాంట్లో మైక్ డైనమిక్స్ పెట్టుకోవడం అనేది. సో దూరం పెట్టుకునే కంటే దగ్గర పెట్టుకొని మైక్ స్పీకర్ కంట్రోల్స్ అవన్నీ వాళ్ళు పడేటట్టు చేసుకోవచ్చు. దగ్గర పెట్టుకొని మైక్ దగ్గర పెట్టుకొని మాట్లాడడం అనేది మనందరం చేయగలిగిన పని. సో ఇట్ విల్ హెల్ప్ ఎ లాట్ ద ఎంటైర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్, ఆల్ ద ఎఫర్ట్, సో దట్ ఇట్ గోస్ ఇన్ టు కమ్యూనికేషన్. సో దీని గురించి ఏమన్నా వర్క్షాప్ ఏమన్నా చేసుకుందామా, 10 నిమిషాలు పావుగంట సెషన్ ఏమన్నా చేసుకుందామా ఈసారి ఎప్పుడైనా సరే, మేబీ, సో దట్ ఆల్ విల్ నో హౌ మచ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఇట్ మేక్స్. పర్టికులర్లీ మేబీ ఒక 10 minutes సెషన్ ఎప్పుడైనా వీ మే ప్లాన్. సో లెట్స్ యూజ్ ద మైక్ వెల్ సో దట్ వీ కెన్ complement all the efforts of Bhavana and Divakar and all the members behind the programs.
Thank you. Thank you. I remember to remind everybody to keep their mouth or mic close to their mouth. Okay. All right then. Oh. Okay. guess we are at the end of the session anyway.
We want.
Sorry, did you want to pitch?
Yeah.
Or did you want to share something?
Yes.
Okay, there is like so much light in the room. Maybe we should just continue because we have 5 more minutes to go. Now I can't remind you to keep the mic close to your mouth.
It's good.
We are ready even.
Okay, guys. I am Swaroop. I'm acting CEO for Troshi Technologies. This is my first ideation or pitching session, whatever it is. So I just wanted to proceed with my language, Telugu. మీ అందరికీ తెలుసు there are every super app మనకు ఉన్నాయి షాపింగ్కి ట్రావెల్కి ఈవెన్ నా దీనికోసం సర్వీసెస్ కోసం కూడా సార్ చెప్పారు మేబీ నేను లేట్ అయిపో ఉండొచ్చు వీఆర్ డెవలపింగ్ ఏ సూపర్ బోట్ అట్స్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 70 to 80% was completed which works for టీచర్స్కి పనిచేస్తుంది పిల్లలకి పనిచేస్తుంది ఇన్ వాట్ సెన్స్ టీచర్స్కి వాళ్ళు ఎవ్రీడే స్కూల్లో చేసే వర్క్ కంప్లీట్గా ఇది వర్క్ కంప్లీట్ చేసి క్లాసెస్ ఏ విధంగా తీసుకోవాలి ఎంత ఇంటరాక్టివ్ సెషన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేయొచ్చు అని టీచర్స్కి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తూ హోంవర్క్స్ అనేవి స్టూడెంట్స్కి అసైన్ చేస్తూ ఆ హోంవర్క్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత దాని అసెస్మెంట్ కూడా మా బోటే చేస్తుంది అండ్ యాజ్ వెల్ పిల్లలకి ఎలా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది అంటే వాళ్ళు అసెస్మెంట్ హోంవర్క్ కంప్లీట్ చేసి దానికి సబ్మిట్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఏవైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే ఇంటరాక్టివ్ సెషన్ ద్వారా చేసుకోవచ్చు అండ్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం రెగ్యులర్ ఇంటర్వెల్ అప్పచెప్పించుకోవడం లాంటివి మన తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుకుంటే ఓరల్ అసెస్మెంట్స్ లాంటివి కూడాను అది చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది దానికి సంబంధించి ఒక రికార్డుని మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుంది లైక్ హౌ మచ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ కంప్లీటెడ్ అని ఇది ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పరంగా లైక్ హోమ్ ఇన్స్టా ఇట్ ఈవెన్ కనెక్ట్స్ విత్ ఆల్ ద సర్వీస్ ఇంజనీర్స్ లొకేషన్ బేస్డ్ we are into the travel. Just book a bus from Visakhapatnam to Tirupati on next month 18th and చెప్తే చాలు it will give you the list of buses available for that particular day ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి ఏంటి పరిస్థితి అనేది ఇస్తుంది and next it will book the bus ticket for you and payment related things are something different which we need to ensure it is very proper. So this is our product and we are looking for some good graphic designers, digital marketing people and UI UX designers. So whoever is interested they can approach us, either me or Vikas, anyone. Thank you sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is an interesting end to our Startup Saturday session with all the lights on. So thank you all for coming. We hope you enjoyed the session. Here is a way to tell us how you can do this better, but we don't have a way right now because I can't project the QR code for feedback. But if you have any thoughts, please DM me. We would love to hear from you. We would like to change as we go forward to improve this in any way we can to meet your expectations. It is supposed to be useful for everyone who wants to engage, and the more you engage, the more you derive. So a few announcements before we close the session. Thai women applications should close today. Is there any update?
30th.
Not yet? 30th. Okay, we are extending it to 30th. Thai women is a program. Women with at least 33% stake in the company can compete in this global competition. You will be competing at the chapter level and the winner will progress all the way to the Thai Global Summit at Bengaluru in December. The winner will be mentored to prepare for the finals. This is a fantastic program to showcase your talent and commitment. You will learn a lot along the way. If you know somebody who owns a company, who's a woman of course, please encourage them to apply. Launch and Level Up workshop series is progressing at a good pace. The next one, 5th of the 8 workshops, will be held on last Tuesday and Wednesday of June on financial management and funding. Mentors from Alco Partners and Thai Vizag will be delivering the workshop at AHUB. Please sign up if you're interested. Let others know. The next Hack AP Hackathon is on July 27-28, the last weekend of July. This time, the theme will be e-commerce and retail. We were going to do space tech, but we changed plans for some reasons. So e-commerce and retail, please let everybody know. Those of you who are students who are more interested in hackathons, this is a great opportunity. Let your friends know. Please get together some multidisciplinary teams. If you are a computer science student and you have a few friends and you gather, everything looks like it needs an app. So people with different needs, they need different solutions, problems with different problems, depending on what the challenge is, you should come up with a solution. There is always a lot happening at our hub. Don't miss out on exciting opportunities to work and grow with us. Thank you all for a cracking session today. Let's gather together for a group picture at the front. I request you to hold your light up. So this will be like a candlelit startup Saturday. So let's see how it looks. I would like you to all come up to the stage so we can get a picture. Yeah, don't do this. We'll all look like
Mummies.